The moment you recognize your own value, you stop clinging to people who treat you like an option. You stop over-explaining, over-apologizing, and overcompensating for things that were never your fault. That's when the shift begins. Your energy changes when you realize that your worth is not negotiable. It's not up for debate. It doesn't rise or fall based on who stays or who leaves. It just is. And when you walk in that truth, it becomes impossible to tolerate half-love, fake friends, one-sided effort, or environments that don't see your light. You don't wait around for someone to recognize your value. You embody it every single day. It shows in how you walk into a room. It shows in the way you make decisions, not based on desperation, but on discernment. You no longer need 100 people to like you. You need a few real ones who see you, respect you, and honor you because you taught them how to. By how you honor yourself. You don't have to chase people when you trust your value. You don't have to prove anything to anyone. You simply align yourself with your truth and let life respond to that. That doesn't mean you'll never feel doubt or never crave connection. We're human. We want to be seen and loved. But there's a difference between wanting to connect and needing others to define you. When you heal the part of you that used to seek constant external approval, you develop a relationship with yourself that no one can shake. You become your own source of reassurance. You learn to trust your gut. You stop ignoring red flags just to feel accepted. You stop being afraid of solitude because now you understand your peace is the most expensive thing you own. Your presence becomes powerful because it's no longer desperate. It's deliberate. You attract better not because you manipulate the outside world, but because you've transformed your inner world. You radiate a frequency that says, I know who I am. I know what I bring. And I won't settle for less than I deserve. That energy will repel the wrong ones, but that's the point. You're not here to be liked by everyone. You're here to live truthfully, to love deeply, and to surround yourself with people who value you the way you value. So the next time you find yourself feeling overlooked, doubting your place in someone's life, or wondering if you're enough, pause. Ask yourself, have I been begging for energy I was meant to walk away from? Because the moment you start begging for attention, you've already given away your power. Take it back. Own your value. Hold your head high. The people who are meant for you won't need to be convinced. They'll recognize the strength in your silence, the clarity in your presence, and the truth in your energy. Let them wonder why you stopped chasing. Let them question how you became so calm, so focused, so grounded. Let them realize, too late, that you were never desperate, you were just done. You were done proving your worth, done playing small, done giving pieces of yourself to people who didn't know what to do with them. You chose yourself. And from that moment on, everything began to align. That's the power of valuing yourself. It's not loud, it's not forced, it's not even always visible at first, but it shifts everything. Because when your energy changes, your life follows. And the best part, you didn't need anyone else to change. You just needed to remember who you were all along. The moment you value yourself, you stop chasing and start choosing. That right there is the shift that transforms your entire life. Most people are out here running themselves into the ground trying to earn love, attention, or approval. They're chasing jobs, relationships, friends, status, believing that something or someone out there will finally make them feel like they matter. But here's the raw truth. No one is going to treat you better than you treat yourself. And until you understand your own value, you'll keep chasing things that were never worthy of you in the first place. When you start to value yourself, it doesn't happen with fireworks and applause. It happens quietly. It happens in small moments. When you say no to someone who's always taken you for granted, when you walk away from a conversation that drains your spirit, when you choose solitude over company that feels like a performance. That's when the real shift begins. That's when you stop explaining yourself to people who are committed to misunderstanding you. That's when you stop lowering your standards just to feel liked. Because when you value yourself, being liked isn't the goal. Being respected is. You stop chasing because you realize the right things don't have to be chased. They align. They show up when you're aligned with your worth. And you start choosing from a place of power, not desperation. You choose relationships that nourish you. You choose work that aligns with your passions. You choose to rest without guilt. You choose peace over drama. You choose boundaries over burnout. You choose truth over pretending. And every single one of those choices reinforces the belief that you are valuable and you are enough. Valuing yourself also means you no longer settle for crumbs and call it love. You're not interested in being tolerated. You want to be celebrated. You stop bending over backward to prove you're worthy of staying, because you understand that if someone can't see your worth, it's not your job to convince them, it's your job to keep walking. Your time, energy, and presence are a privilege, not something to be negotiated with people who haven't earned them. You begin living like you matter because you do. The funny thing is, when you start showing up like this, everything around you begins to shift. People notice, they sense your energy has changed. You're no longer available for nonsense. You no longer flinch at silence. You're comfortable walking away, and people will test you. They'll try to pull you back into old patterns just to see if you really mean it. But when you truly value yourself, you don't even flinch. You know what peace feels like now, and you're not willing to trade it for chaos, no matter how familiar that chaos might be. It's not about becoming cold or closed off, it's about being intentional. You know what you bring to the table, so you're no longer afraid to eat alone. You're no longer terrified of silence, rejection, or solitude, because you've learned to sit with yourself and not feel empty. You've become your own anchor, your own validation, your own safety net. And from that place, you don't need to chase. You don't need to perform. You don't need to shrink to fit into spaces that were never built for someone like you. You start making decisions from your future self, not your fears. You stop asking, will they like me? And start asking, does this align with the life I'm building? That one question alone will change who you allow in your life, how you spend your time, and how quickly you walk away from anything that no longer serves you. You attract better because you are better. You've done the work, you've faced the patterns, you've sat through the uncomfortable healing, and now you're magnetic. Not because you're trying to be, but because you're real. You're whole, you're grounded. You've stopped looking outward for what could only be built within. This shift isn't easy, it's not comfortable. It requires you to unlearn years of conditioning that told you to stay quiet, play small, and be grateful for whatever you got. But the moment you start valuing yourself, you rewrite that story. You build a new identity based on truth, not trauma. You decide that from now on, the bare minimum isn't enough, not from others and not from yourself. And here's the most powerful part. When you truly start choosing instead of chasing, you don't lose people who matter. You lose the ones who are only comfortable with you doubting yourself. The right ones will rise to your level. The right ones won't be intimidated by your boundaries, they'll respect them. The right ones won't pull away when you speak up, they'll lean in. So let the world catch up. Keep choosing yourself. Keep raising your standards. Keep valuing your peace. Because when you do, life starts responding to you differently. It starts matching your energy. And suddenly the things you used to beg for start showing up without the begging. That's not coincidence. That's what happens when you finally understand your worth.